So much was pouring out this morning as I was opening up to what wanted to be shared today. And so especially after that, I'm like, where do I begin? But I'm going to start with, sometimes these are the questions that come up for us when we are endeavoring to embrace change or try something different or new. Why is it so hard to learn something new? Why is it so hard to change a habit? Why is it so hard to create a new habit that we know is life-affirming for ourselves, but it's different from what we're used to? And does life have to be hard? Well, the other day, my husband Glenn and I were talking, and life is hard. I've talked about it before. It's even in my book, for those of you who've read it. But I talked about it a few months ago from the stage a few times on Sunday and Wednesday, about how this is something that has been a basic assumption in my life for a long time, probably most of my life, but I didn't become aware of it until a few years ago as I was going through my spiritual and consciousness studies. And when it popped up, after I had already graduated as a licensed spiritual practitioner, I was like, what? This cannot be my fundamental life belief. This cannot be it. I am not going to hang on to life is hard for the rest of my life. And so I knew consciously that that was something that I didn't want, and yet, because it was so ingrained in me, it wasn't something that I could automatically change like that. I mean, definitely within the realm of possibility, but it sure didn't feel like it at the time. And there are still days, maybe even minutes or hours, where it really doesn't feel like it, but at least I'm aware that this is what's happening, and I'm aware that I am not that belief, I am not that assumption. So when I was going through the 7 years of consciousness and spiritual studies, for those of you who aren't familiar, it was through religious science, the foundational philosophy of which is The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. It falls under the New Thought umbrella, and under the New Thought umbrella, everyone is pretty much saying the same thing, whether it's Ernest Holmes or the Fillmores or the Divine Science people or the Universal Foundations for Better Living people from the Johnny Coleman Church. It's all, there's one thing going on, everyone and everything is that we take personal responsibility for how we create our life. And the more mindfully and purposefully and intentionally we create our life, then the more that life becomes what we want it to be. Here's the thing though, we have to remember that no matter how much we use our conscious mind to try and think something new, to create new habits, to live new ways, if there is something hanging out in the sea of subjectivity like life is hard, you're not good enough, you don't deserve it, that's for other people, not you, anything like that, if that is more deeply ingrained than I can do anything I want, this is going to win out every time. So when I was going through my studies, then we were taught that beliefs are at the foundation of everything. Beliefs inform your thoughts, which inform your feelings, which outpicture as emotions, which then inform all your choices and your actions and how you experience your life. Well, last year, for those of you who are around for the first few months of the year, you may remember that David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, which was his last book that he published before he died in 2012. He's the map of consciousness guy. This book kind of turns that on its head because David Hawkins is all about feelings are at the core of everything. And until you get to the foundational feeling, it doesn't matter what you try to think. If that feeling is what you are mired in or stuck in or immersed in, that feeling is going to inform your thoughts, which form your beliefs, which your experiences, right? So when you get to the feeling, when you can be at peace with the feeling and let it go, anything stemming from that feeling, back into no thingness and potentiality rather than reality, right? Or experience. And so in this month of emotion, today I want to talk about emotion as energy in motion, as an opportunity for us to direct the energy that we are more consciously and more intentionally, even when it feels hard, even when it feels challenging. And so I mentioned that about a month ago, my husband Glenn and I started a year-long program called Relaxed Money with Kate Northrup. And the reason that I went into this was because for the first time in my life, in my sort of purview, someone is talking about the relationship between money and the nervous system. and how if the nervous system is dysregulated, there's no way you're going to be able to learn anything new about money or whatever it is that you're trying to change. And so I have been fortunate enough to have worked at a chiropractic clinic for 3.5 years, where someone who goes there is nodding her head, where chiropractic is all about clearing the interference that is getting in the way of the communication flowing through the body so that the body can function as optimally as it's supposed to. Right? It's basically sort of like, let's let go of the limiting thoughts and the stories and the beliefs that are keeping us feeling stuck so that we can actually express more fully as the love that we truly are. If chiropractic were a form of, or a science of mind were a form of chiropractic, it would be the best work that our friend Dr. Christina does, who is also a member here at the center. Bioenergetic synchronization technique. That's what BEST stands for. Anyway, so I was familiar enough with how important the nervous system is in affecting change and transformation. And so, slowly but surely, I've been bringing in some of the tools that I have been learning and some of the tools that I have been reminded of in the 8-week-long forgiveness class that we had and in some of the 90 breathwork sessions that I have been leading, a combination of which we had yesterday for the last forgiveness class here. And so the thing about the nervous system and the body is that even if you have every single intention, it's like the best intention. It is so in alignment with what you believe is the highest expression of you. If there is something going on in the sea of subjectivity that is not in alignment with that, then if you start trying to think something different, your body goes into shutdown mode. Your body goes into defense. Your body considers that new thought, no matter how amazing and life-affirming it might be, as a threat to your very survival. Okay, so who was here last week on Sunday? Okay, a handful of people. Do you guys remember me showing you this butterfly hug technique? Okay, so I'm going to invite everybody to do it right now. Okay, just cross your arms and just tap your shoulders one at a time, whatever pace works for you. What this is doing is it is signaling your body that it's okay to emote. It's okay to have an experience, whatever that experience is. And the cool thing about this is that when you're freaking out, when you don't know why life feels so hard, when things aren't going your way, this is an incredible tool to use to regulate your nervous system, to tell you that it's totally safe to go what you're going through. You're not gonna die. Okay, that's the bottom line. You're not gonna die, all right? What's also super cool though, is because if anyone is here, I suspect it's because you wanna grow. Maybe you wanna transform. Maybe you want to expand beyond your current comfort zone. You want to delve into that quantum field of infinite possibilities more fully than you have so far. Well, growth is threatening to the body and to the nervous system because it's different. It's unfamiliar. You can stop doing the butterfly hug now. All right? But what that technique will do is as you're learning something new, as you are being stretched, as you are being pulled, as you are stepping out of your comfort zone, this will indicate to your body it's okay to feel what you're feeling. It's okay to experience this discomfort, this discombobulation. It's okay to feel this enthusiasm and joy and excitement at achieving my goal. And so I'm going to anchor it in my body that next time I go to feel this, it's okay. It's not a threat. I'm not going to die. Okay, and that's the very, very crux of this. And so what I want to do is I want to continue giving you guys tools throughout the month, because as we are growing, as we are changing, as we are stretching and pulling ourselves out of our comfort zones, we want to know that it's safe to do so. Otherwise, what's going to happen? Either we'll butt up against it and we'll go right back, or we'll go past it, but it'll be so challenging and so nerve-wracking that we'll pull back to what's familiar, right? And that's not what growth is about. Growth is about expansion. Growth is about new. Growth is about different. So, what do I want to say here? That was basically what I wanted to say. So our affirmation for the month is, I welcome all emotions as invitations to deepen my awareness and to more authentically express the love I truly am. And so I really, really invite everyone to lean into that affirmation, to welcome your emotions as invitations, and if you can't as an invitation, as information, something to be curious about. Because in David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, it's about seeing what's happening, getting curious about the feeling, and then what's behind the feeling. And ultimately, every single time you go further and further down, the feeling at the very base of it, the fear, I'm going to die, right? And so no matter how much all of us new thought people are like, I'm totally okay with death, I'm not afraid with death, like there is something that is hardwired into our bodies and our DNA about survival, right? But for those of you familiar with our theme for the year, what's our theme for the year? Here to thrive in 2025. So we're not just here to survive, we are here to thrive, and that means to grow and to expand. So what I want to end off with before you guys move into conscious conversation is we used to say, change your thinking, change your life. And then Joe Dispenza, who's one of my heroes, is change your energy, change your life, right? Because we're pure energy. And so we need to direct the energy we are more consciously. And now he's about shift your energy, shift your reality. Because every single moment, we are at opportunity to create something new and different simply by choosing something new and different, by focusing our energy and attention on something different. And that is just about as much as opening our mind and our heart as it is to signaling our body that it's safe and okay to do so. So I do have a talk title slide, which I totally forgot about, but the whole point of this is safety first. So when you are going to learn something new, when you are ready to step out of your comfort zone, let yourself know it's okay to do so. And then once you've gotten beyond where you want to go, let yourself know it's okay to be there and experience that something new. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do is I'm going to invite you to stand up, and you might need to spread out into the aisles a little bit more, those of you, because you're going to need to have some room to do this. But first of all, I'm just going to give you a baseline. Do this Charlie's Angels pose, okay? And now move your body side to side and just notice what's happening in your body. Any stiffness, any tension, any clicks or pain or noises or whatever. Okay, drop your arms, and now just pretend you're a big old washing machine. You can look side to side, you can look straight ahead if you tend to get dizzy. And just allow yourself to go back and forth. Barb, washing machine. All right, and this is another signal to your body. You're okay. You're 100% okay. You are safe right here, right now. Whatever's going on, it's safe to experience. You're not going to die. All right, Charlie's Angels pose again, and just go side to side and notice if you're a little freer, more range of motion, maybe some pain or clicks are gone. And that means your nervous system appreciated that little practice. All right, go ahead and sit down. So I'm going to leave you with emotion is energy in motion, and every moment we get to choose how we direct the energy we are. If we truly want to change, to transform, one of the best things we can do is to let our body and nervous system know that change isn't a threat. That change and transformation don't mean that we're going to die. That transformation is actually manageable. Life can be hard, but it doesn't have to be. Practicing safety first lets us know it's okay to feel, it's okay to experience, it's totally 100% okay to grow. Thank you, and so it is.